Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. I just watched Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 17, Ghost in the Machine, and it was interesting. I have been complaining a little bit the last few episodes because I feel like the show has been focusing more on the sort of overarching sort of story, and I really felt like that was a very Star Wars story and not very Star Trek-like, and the show was really better when they were having individual adventures, and I really think they just should have used that overall story just to set up a situation where they were just roaming through space and having adventures, because that felt a lot more Star Trek-like. And the last few episodes have been very much about just resolving the main sort of story for the series. But this episode was a one-off, a standalone, and in some ways it was a very Star Trek story because it was a holodeck episode. Basically, but that was also something that a lot of people criticised in particularly Next Generation, because they felt it was just an excuse to trapping the crew on the holodeck was just an excuse to do like a period piece or something like a Noir adventure or Robin Hood or something like that. So it's sort of a trope in a way as well. So it's sort of, I don't know, but it was interesting. I mean, it starts off with the crew doing simulations, trying to work out how to deal with contacting the Federation and to deal with Janeway. And everything they do, every simulation fails, and eventually they just get to the point of saying, let's just give up. Maybe we're not going to be able to do this. Maybe we can't actually ever contact Starfleet and join Starfleet, which is a bit ridiculous because all they have to do is just speak to someone in person. They could have done a couple of episodes. They're standing right next to Janeway. They could have ended the whole series by him just turning around and saying, this is this problem we have. And it all could have been resolved, but they just had to drag it out and make it into a whole season when, it's really not that big a story. There's bigger stories to tell in the Star Trek universe than this one. But, yeah, so they basically give up. They go to bed for the night and they start to notice strange things. Like, before she goes to bed, Gwen is working out. She sees some guy walking down the corridor, and then they have Dow is hearing music in his room, and there's some sort of glitter creature roaming the halls. Eventually they realise that they never left the holodeck, that they're in some sort of program. And they go to the Cellar Door Club, which is, I think, a reference to Donnie Darko, or maybe a reference to what that was referring to. But the Medusan sort of realises that they're in a mystery and they have to solve the mystery for the program to end, is the assumption. So they try and find the skeleton key. Now, they end up in an alley because Jacob has a Tellarite street fighting program, and the programs are starting to sort of mesh together. Like when they go to the next scene, which is a sort of speakeasy style sort of noir sort of bar, which is in black and white. There's Tellarites manning the bar and stuff like that, and eventually they work out the programs are being merged, and they eventually end up on a pirate ship, and they sort of work out that there is no resolution. They're just going to keep going from one scenario to the next scenario, and someone is basically trying to keep them there and trying to trap them there by just keeping them going from one mystery to the next. And they realise someone did this, and I'm like, well, who could have done this? Like, how can anyone get on the ship and do this? It's just them. And they realise that it was Janeway. Basically what happened was when they said, let's just give up on this, we're never going to get, to Starfleet. They basically, she considered they were abandoning the mission, and she had some sort of subroutine that set up her trying to put the ship back on its mission, I guess, which is to return itself to Starfleet and destroy them. So she programmed the program, and during the program they realised that the safety protocols are off, of course, and Janeway can't restore them because she only has access to the non-essential system. She can't, fly the ship or anything. So Dow gives her his command code so that she can actually re-engage the safety protocols, but that also means she has control of the ship. So while they're stuck in the holodeck, she actually takes the ship out of the neutral zone, and by the time they get out of the holodeck, they realise they're out of the neutral zone and facing Janeway's ship, and that's where the episode ends. And the hologram Janeway had no idea that this was happening because of the subroutine she wasn't aware of, and I guess that's the setup for the next couple of episodes to resolve the story. And I'm now just wondering, like I said before in the other reviews I did, where are they going to go with the series? Are they going to keep the same format? Are they just going to create another scenario that, drags on for a whole season? Or are they going to create some scenario where they just get to go off on adventures each week? I don't know what they're going to do, but I would like a story that's less Star Wars and more Star Trek, where they just get to have adventures and explore. Because even though this was a holodeck episode, I did enjoy it more for its standalone qualities. But I'm going to go and just leave you with the memory of Murph here singing. I don't like the new Murph. I like the old Murph. This one kind of looks like a jelly sort of lizard alien or something. And during the episode in the Noir bar, he started singing, and it didn't work for me. But I thought it was a cute enough photo for this though. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, maybe even ding the little bell. Thanks. Bye.